But me, I just dogged out all the way around. Nastiness, though. I'm telling folks, man, I ain't dead, man, with these folks, man. Hold on,
What's your name, Miss Silver? What's your name, Miss Silver? You know what? You know what?
What?
It's funny that you said that. You just brought back some memories. So when you said that, when I told you, I think on a couple phone calls back, remember I told you, I said, you know what they call you right here? Yeah, you said what? And I said they call you nasty nestos, right? However I said it. So yeah. They don't took my voice.
I can speak to that. As to 23 CP 215407 at our last hearing, the state did move to null process or to decline that particular case. We will just revive that case in an indictment.
What's your name, Miss Stover?
They call me Nasty Nesto.
What's your name, Miss Stover?
They call me Nasty Nesto or something. I ain't do.
You know what?
Well. Hey, everybody. How are you? How's it going? This is crazy. Well, I don't think it's so crazy. I mean, what did we think? Clearly they're going through cases. They are maintaining. So we saw recently they closed a case that I guess they were not motivated to move further with, right? And baby, this one I guess they are. This is very interesting to me. I'm just like, oh, okay. Let me say hi to who got here 1, 2, 3 first. Okay. Hey Siri, hey boo. Okay. A little bit ratchet. What's going on? And the minute I go live, can someone get Portia, please? One second, guys. I'll be right with you. Okay, guys, sorry about that. All of a sudden, Portia and Lambo decided that they wanted to have their way under my Okay. I hope everyone had a great day today. What's going on? Okay, so let's get into it. I mean, there's just let's see. I think Nesto is going to need 24-hour watch. I think he's going to be pretty devastated. I would imagine he knows by now. I would imagine he knows, and he has to have been told. There's no way he doesn't know. First of all, can you guys make sure to hit the like button? What about StreamYard adding the feature? They hinted to it maybe like 2 months ago that they were going to add this feature on the screen. I do feel, I'm not trying to be, look, my feedback on the screen is that I do think they just need to make it a little bigger. Like if you're going to put it on here, make it something that people can see, because it's kind of small. But I'm definitely here for it. I like it. I just think they need to tweak it a little bit and make it either where you can kind of adjust where you want to have it, and then also like make it just a little bit bigger. But I'm happy that they added this feature because I think it's like, okay, finally. So yes, so shouts out to StreamYard for handling some business and adding some new features. Okay. It probably looks good on TV, yeah, but people do. I'm sure it's still in beta right now, so some people don't even have it engaged. So you have the option whether to engage it or not. So yeah, so it's cool. Anyway, okay, so obviously we got kind of a hint something was going on because clearly, um, they went ahead, they're doing some cleanup and they closed out that other case and reserved the right to potentially bring it back. And then this happened, and it's just like, oh, okay. Okay. I'm sure he's very upset, but at the end of the day, um he should have been prepared for this, and also maybe was banking on all of the foolishness that Sonia has been feeding into his head for the past almost 3 years. And it is what it is. I don't yeah, even not even so much, because he does get his day in court. He does get an opportunity to put on a case. He does have an opportunity for due process and all of those things, but he is not, by all accounts, getting out of jail anytime soon. I mean, I don't even know that there is going to be a bond for him with these charges. And now that the charges have been indicted, and you would think with the amount of time that this guy has been in jail, and Sonia making him think that the victim is gone, the victim's running scared, the victim is lying, the victim is this, the victim is all of the things. And well, clearly for a an indictment, there has to be some recent engagement with the victim. And if the victim is still willing to cooperate and to get justice for the offense, then that's what the city felt like they needed to do. Hey Kathy, what's good, sis? Girl, Nesto is the only one that knows the absolute truth. Sonia doesn't know shit. Well, Nesto and the victim too, I guess. Whoever was there. Now I'm just waiting on some evidence tampering and victim. If I were Sonia, which I never will be, but this is what let me say that better. I think forget about. Okay, she knows better at this point. She knows better. Look, I've been dying to say this. What a bad day for you, Nesto. What a bad day for you. Okay, let me go. Look, all right, so this happened and was stamped in. Where's the stamp? Just a second. Okay. He has to have been told. I wonder if he's going to be, how long it takes for the like if he's going to be on the probably like in the next day or two. You know how they do the Fulton County arraignments in the morning? Oh God. He's going to be pissed. I'm sure he's very upset. Look, I don't know what Hoover told him, what Hoover had him thinking. Now they got everything under, I'm going to take all my time, Judge Dunaway. This is going to go, I mean, gosh, his last indictment is over a year old, and we're not even at pretrial yet. Now he just got a new indictment. That man's going to be in, I mean, like when he said, I'm going to be in here for 5 years, baby, it's going to be a minute. He's got 2 cases in front of Dunaway now. We got movement. We got motion. Okay. We do. This is this is pretty unbelievable, because I was thinking, things are going to start to wind down. He's got, his situation. He's got court coming up the first week in June. He seems to be cluing us in that he knows something, and freedom's coming soon, and blase blah. And baby, he got walloped in the head. So let's see what's going on here. So initially, there was the grape charge, aggravated sexual battery, aggravated backdoor. I'm just going to say it like that, y'all, because I got to be careful. Trafficking a person for servitude, felony, and then sexual battery. That was the one that was a misdemeanor, and then 2, conspiracy to commit a felony. Let me just show this. It looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They did not send 6, 7, 5, 6, and 7, 5, 6, and 7 to the grand jury. These were the 4 that he got indicted on. 1, 2, 3, boom. Okay. Okay. And that's what you see right here. Boom. Number 2, number 3, number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? This was signed today with a blue pen, okay? And uploaded. State of Georgia, County of Fulton, in the Superior Court of said county, the grand jurors selected and chosen and sworn in the County of Fulton. So he went through this recent grand jury cycle. So when they closed out that other case the other day, they weren't going to put that before the grand jury. They went ahead and closed it. This one went. That had been sitting for a month of Sundays. Okay. In the name and behalf of the citizens of Georgia, do charge and accuse Earnest Williams with the offense of grape. For the said accused in the County of Fulton, State of Georgia, between the 1st of January 2019 and the 31st of January of 2021. The exact date being unknown by the grand jury, did have carnal knowledge of a person, a female, forcibly against her will, contrary to the laws of the state and the good order, peace, and dignity thereof. And the grand jurors aforesaid in the name, I'm skipping, and the grand jurors aforesaid in the name and behalf of the citizens of Georgia do charge and accuse Earnest Williams with the offense of aggravated sexual battery. For said accused, the County of Fulton and State of Georgia, between 1st of January 2019 and 31st of June 2022. Okay? Right before your ass went to jail. The exact date being unknown. Did intentionally penetrate a foreign object, to wit, a penetrative sexual device, the sexual organ of blank, without the consent. Girl, let me tell you something. If those items that were in his work sack have anything to do with this situation, baby, that's some bad news. Because if this foreign object right here, sexual device, is the devices in that work sack that was found, well, yes, there could be DNA, but depending on how that thing was handled, God, you know, we don't know how it was handled. So, and yeah, we don't know. And we don't know how many uses, we don't know what he was out here doing. He could have been out here like Punisher, okay? He could have been out here like Senior Punisher. Girl, Senor Punisher. No, I'm just kidding. He could have been out here like on the job, how Punisher would show up places, okay? We don't really know whose DNA is on that foreign object, okay? I think even Sonia got to experience that foreign object, okay? We don't know, babe, that DNA profile might be a fool, okay? We don't know what the laboratory is going to come up with. All right, let's just be real. Okay? This is disgusting. Baby, it's 2025. This is a very sick world we live in, okay? Were you not watching the internet today? Girl, it's sick out here. Okay? It's shameful. It's for shame, okay? It's some nasty stuff going on. Can I get some nasties in the chat, please? Count 2 is aggravated sexual battery with a foreign object, okay? And, I just want to say shouts out to the victim too for having the bravery to be, and also the patience, because this has dragged out for a very long time. And hopefully this person is going to get the justice that they deserve, because count 1 says that they had carnal knowledge of a person forcibly and against their will. That's number 1. Number 2, did intentionally penetrate this person with a foreign object without their consent. This is horrible, okay? Contrary to the laws of the said state and good order, peace, and dignity, okay? Then, on top of that, the grand jurors, in the name and behalf of the citizens of Georgia, do charge Earnest Williams on count 3 with aggravated sodomy, okay? Backdoor, okay? Contrary, let's see, the offense of aggravated, you can read the word. For the said accused in the county of Fulton, state of Georgia, between the 1st of January 2019, the 31st of June of 2022, the exact date being unknown by the grand jury, did unlawfully and with force perform. I don't know what's going on with this dog. Hold on a second, guys. Yeah, I don't know anything about the victim. I can't tell you anything about that, Niner girl. I don't know anything about it. So the victim was lying or missing. And who are you're referring to in this case? if I would imagine if I don't know. I can't tell you anything. I don't know anything about the victim other than clearly they must have some, you know, if there's a recent indictment, which there is, obviously. Um, I don't know. I can't really answer your question. I don't know where that comes from. I've never heard anything about the I've heard Sonia and Sylvia tell stories about somebody was gone and things like that. But you know what I'm saying? I don't really try to repeat too much of what those two say because they lie a lot or they just don't know what they're talking about. So I don't want to kind of mix anything that I don't know. We're just going based on the facts that we know, and the facts that we know is that the district attorney's office in Fulton County saw fit to present this to a grand jury, so I'm sure they have information to support these allegations, to bring forth a indictment. So I don't, yeah, anything other than that, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. If Yeah, I don't know anything about that. So nasty. So nasty was drug and girl, y'all asking a lot of questions. So nasty was drug and alcohol free. I've never heard of. I don't know. I don't know about anything about that. He put his life in the feet of the van leasing toilet. Girl. Okay. Let me get back to finish reading this. Oh, okay. I'm not gonna read. Let me finish reading this, and then I'm gonna read y'all's comments. Girl. I see what your remember milestones are saying. Okay. Okay. So count 3. Aggravated sodomy. Okay. The exact date being unknown by the grand jury, did unlawfully and with force perform sexual act accused accused male sex organs and the ooh and the back door against the will of the said complaining witness by placing accused sex organ into and upon the anus of said blank, contrary to the laws of said state, good order, peace, and dignity thereof. My God. Okay. Woo. Okay. Count 4. Grand jurors aforesaid in the name and behalf of the citizens of Georgia do charge Earnest Williams with the offense of trafficking a person for sexual servitude. For the said accused, the county of Fulton, state of Georgia, 1st of January to the 22nd of June of 2022, the exact date being unknown by the grand jury, did knowingly entice, solicit, obtain, harbor, transport, subject, and maintain a person under the age of 18 for the purpose of sexual servitude, contrary to the law of said state, good order, peace, and dignity. I mean, he's officially indicted. Okay, the dog is like, what the fuck now, Nesto? Okay. Thanks for the update. And nasty on suicide watch for sure. I'm sure he's very upset. From a standpoint of he's been talking all that mess with Sonia like he's getting out. Now, Williams, this is the DA number, booking. Girl, anything that says Roswell Police Department, you know he's mad, okay? And feels, okay, you know he's mad about that one. Here's his charges. Prosecutor arrested. So he was, I mean, he's been indicted. I mean, he just knew that that was going to go away. Let's see. Indictment. Baby. That's a shame. And they put it with Dunaway. And Dunaway takes his sweet time to handle things. Okay. He's got the RICO. Ooh. He has the RICO on here, pending related cases, indictments. Okay. Well, I mean, I can't say I'm surprised. It was, I don't, you know what I mean? I'm kind of like, okay, well, we've got movement basically, right? It was about time, you know what I mean? Um, I could only imagine if I had a friend or family member, or God forbid it was myself, and was in a situation where these are the charge, like there had been a situation. Yeah, I would be ready for someone to pay for what they done. So they have talked so much about that girl, very slick and sly on these phones. It does not surprise me. Well, it seemed like some cleanup, you know what I mean? Because Fonnie Willis has said that, they have, when they have cases over a certain, open for a certain period of time, they do review of these cases. So to see what's the holdup. So I don't know. I mean, I don't see, let me look at the docket to see who's still listed. Okay, so Sean Hoover's on here. It's with the sex crimes unit, so it's not Will Wooten. It should be. I mean, it was Ernell Winfrey before. I don't know if it's still her. Grand jury foreperson. I guess we'll find out. But it's definitely assigned to Dunaway. That's what we do know. And I just don't see. I guess we'll find out when it goes for the arraignment. We'll find out. But yeah, they should be taking him. He could be showing up in for the formal reading of his charges. Hopefully, I mean, for him, maybe he'll ask. He wants a speedy trial. Ask for your speedy trial. Now you're at the beginning of a process again. Ask for your speedy trial. Cooperate with your lawyer, give them the information, request your speedy trial, and see if you can get your trial within the period that you want. So maybe he can do that now. But if Sean goes up in there asking for more time, you guys already know how this thing plays out, because Sean doesn't seem to be in a rush for anything either. He's happy to have his little commute home and be on his merry way to be able to complain about bloggers and things like that. But at the end of the day, this guy's still sitting accused. Okay. I'm gonna drop the call and see what you guys have to say. This is pretty crazy. I mean, it's kind of like, wow. Because, Nesto's been saying for so long, you know what I mean? Like, we've been hearing the dialogue and they love to make it seem like there's things that we don't know, right? I dropped the call in for whoever wants to call in, but let's stick to the topic. And go. He's facing, girl. I would imagine for this to have been presented to the grand jury probably in the last few days, last week or whenever it came up. Um, I would imagine that they have information that is current, not just, what came up 2 and 3 years ago. Um, so I don't know. I don't know anything about, like, okay, Wooten wouldn't be prosecuting these crimes, so Hoover shouldn't be granted any time. He could say he needs time. He could, lawyers can ask for a continuance. He doesn't have to. It just depends on what they decide to do. If Nesto wants a, speedy trial, he can ask for one. If his lawyer feels like he needs time to prepare an adequate defense and they're waiving a right to a speedy trial, he can, what I mean, they can do what they want. Let them do. Let's just let them. You know what I mean? We're just here to watch the process. I don't really know. I mean, and yeah, Wooten doesn't have anything to do with that. He's white collar crimes and this is the sex crimes unit. Yeah, I've heard this can come. Yeah. Yeah. I would imagine, sometimes with these grand juries, they have people go and sit and talk to the grand jury. We don't know if that lady went and testified because, grand juries are private, or secret, and they could have had the victim talk to the grand jury. The victim could have gone in and testified. Oh my God, this is like the weirdest evening. Hold on one second, guys. Someone's at our door. Okay, guys, I'm back. Whew. Okay, let me drop this again. Let's see. All right, let me pin this. Okay. That's what it says, under 18. A person under age of 18 for the purpose of servitude. Looks like they were getting really cocky, Miss Warrior. That's what I'm saying. So they started talking about, so the past, I don't know, few months, we've heard them talk about, oh, freedom's coming soon. Freedom's coming soon. And look, I'm all for manifesting. You know what I mean? The power of positive thinking, all of those things, right? Your words, your thoughts become your actions and all of those things, right? Um, it's interesting. And they were really trying to shift a particular dialogue. And so, it was I mean, you guys were talking. If you go through the last few lives, even the last couple of months, hey, what do you know? What's going on? What's Sean doing? What are they working on? Baby, clearly something is up. Okay. All of that I'm going to be getting out soon. I don't think so. Do you know how old the victim is now? I don't know. Um no, I don't. I don't you know what I mean? Like I above and beyond the person's name, I just think it's not even worth, at the time, let's just say this, at the time that it allegedly happened, according to this document, the person was underage. So at a certain point when it occurred, the person would have been underage. So let's just say the person's got to be in their 20s. You know what I mean? Let's just do like a simple kind of process of elimination, but I don't think it really matters at this point for us because we don't know. And okay. I can't engage. Let's see. They will need to connect their mic. You have to connect your mic so I can bring you up. Your mic's not connected to the person who's backstage. Give your browser permission. Mm. Look, I'm gonna say this too, but y'all love to summon Joey, but when Joey comes up here and says something you guys don't like, it's like, you know what I'm saying? So it's 9:00. Maybe he'll call tomorrow. Let's see. Well, Sonia is about girl. Good. Look, as a woman, I don't have to like Sonia. Sonia is not my cup of tea, but at least she is out and about and handling her own business and doing her own thing. There is no point in sitting around for a bum like Nesto. That's just a waste of time. You know what I'm saying? Like you can talk to pretty much you could be gallivanting all around the United States and still be able to pick up a FaceTime call. This guy is not doing anything. This guy's not doing anything. He's sitting there in the county jail. This guy has laid a lot of bad seeds out here, and he's got a pretty severe criminal record dating back since the beginning of his time. And he's not going nowhere. So the best thing to do, since she says she's going to support him till the wheels fall off, go ahead and be there for your dude. And we'll be here to listen to the jail calls and all the things, but it doesn't seem like he's getting out anytime soon. It's a wrap on that. The call in is linked above. All you have to do is click the link. If you are watching right now in the app, just make sure you swipe out the app. Just click in, and when it takes you into your browser, just close out the YouTube app, or else you're going to hear double sound. That serenade was ridiculous. What did she send? We read that. So there were some text messages. Look, we don't know everything, so we're trying to piece stuff together, right? Because Sonia's not calling us and telling us everything, but it seemed like she sent one of her conspiracy theory memos and basically saying that, fair's fair and the truth is the truth. And, I guess maybe she had information to maybe show something about the relationship with him and Shirley, and that she would have known about the vehicle. She sent him some sort of note that's out of order. She is in communication. Just at the end of the day, even if she sent an Easter card, leave the prosecutor alone. Nobody's asking you, not the wife, not the lawyer, not the paralegal, nobody, to be in contact with the prosecutor. Leave the people alone. They're not your friends. This is not high school. This is not sending a letter to the principal's office. It's not the guidance counselor. It's the prosecutor. She wrote one of those god-awful, stupid notes. And right before he was going to court, the day that everybody showed up to the courthouse, and they weren't going to do anything.
Hey, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I am well.
Thanks for calling in.
Thank you for having me up. I only want to say a couple of things. Number one, I think that the alleged victim had to have spoken to the grand jury recently for them to move forward with these with this indictment. That's number one. And because she's the evidence, right? She's the witness, she's the victim, she is the evidence that they have, and she's the one who told them what happened. So that's number one. Number two, I would surmise that all of the talking and the digging that infamous Sylvia and Sonia did probably has motivated that young lady to stay the course and to come forward and stick to her guns, and to maybe she feels like, I am going to show you. And it is what it is, because if he did it, as she should come forward. She should tell what happened, and hopefully it's truthful. And I hope Nesto is heavily sedated and well taken care of while Sonia is out on the road washing her hair in people's front lawns, as people have pointed out.
Oh my God.
And living her best life. And you're right, it is time for her to just go ahead and throw in the towel. This is her opportunity to live her life, because Nesto isn't coming home. Well, he doesn't have a home.
Well, and Nesto's living his life, right? This is the harvest of the seeds he planted.
Exactly.
So this is life.
Yes, and I wonder how that will work with Hoover being over his RICO and the attorney on this indictment, because like you said before, Hoover likes to take his sweet time getting home. He likes to live a life of leisure. He has clients that get life plus 20 years. And so he doesn't seem to put forth a lot of effort with the cases that he's on. So best wishes to Nesto. And I also think that it's a good thing that Shirley went through with a divorce and not an annulment, because now she's washed her hands of him, and it's a wrap. And so I just wish him the life that he deserves, whatever that may be. And good for Sonia. She's gone out in her minivan or whatever, her house on wheels, and it seems like she's going to be ready to, seems like she'll be ready to turn it in soon with all of her hemming and hawing about it. And the other thing I noticed that Sonia, and I know I said I only had two things, but Sonia said she had researched getting a van or an RV for 7 years before purchasing the one that she has, but she seems to not know anything about anything. It's like,
anything about it, right?
Right. I don't understand her idea or concept of research, because to me, you as a person who's serious about making that large of a purchase, you would do actual due diligence and find out what the day-to-day would entail. And you've said it before, it's giving broke, because sister's putting $50 every other day in her tank. She doesn't want to use the generator. She's coming up with excuses. And I enjoy vacationing, and some people enjoy traveling. I'm a vacationer. I want to sit down and relax. I don't want to go out and sightsee. I don't want to learn the customs of places. And so it sounds like, I don't think Sonia is a traveler or a vacationer. I don't know.
No.
She's a nomad. I don't know what she has going on. Like, what is she doing?
Right. She just wants to have her residence with her. She just wants to be able to go where she wants, and probably, I mean, I don't even know if she just wants to make it as cheap as possible. I'm not really sure. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me because it doesn't seem like there's any goals around any of it.
Right.
When she said she was going from driveway to driveway, I was like,
Ridiculous.
you got to be kidding me. This is
Yeah.
depressing.
It's giving very much depressing. And when she said she was going to the gym to work out her legs and then to work out her arms with her dumbbells, I said that. So what's the purpose of the gym? Because they have all of the equipment there. You
Right.
you
You
just
don't need
use
to
the
have,
equipment.
yeah. She's trying to get her life straight because Nesta wants her to work out. And she probably, you know, I mean, like some people just don't want to work out, right?
Yeah.
And be
Yeah.
a woman and say, you know what? I don't want to. You
And
know what I'm
that is
saying?
perfect. Yeah, that is
Like,
perfectly
I
fine.
don't like the way I look, but I'm not
Yeah.
really willing to do too much about it. So
Yeah.
thanks for the advice, but I'm not gonna do it. Like just be grown about it. You don't have to sit there and lie to somebody who's sitting in jail. Who cares?
He would never know the difference at all.
It's
Ever.
ridiculous. But yeah, I do think so. Sometimes people do go testify for a grand jury, and it is quite possible that the victim did. We don't know that. He could have come in by way of deposition.
Oh, yes. True.
There's many different ways they could have presented the evidence, and also just kind of like a update refresh if that's even required. Like, is the complaining witness still cooperating type thing? Yes, we've
Hmm.
spoken to her recently. She's willing to cooperate. Da, 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 da. We just recently deposed her, this, that, and the third. So we don't know if she went into the grand jury. That's something we will never know. So whether she went in, unless they mention in court, right? That
Right.
went in, or if they went in via deposition. But at the end of the day, for them to have these type of charges go through, I'm sure they have some sort of compelling evidence. I mean, it doesn't have to be overwhelming. They say, you know, indictments, would they say you can indict a ham sandwich? I don't know how
Mhm.
true that is per se, but let's just say they have enough for a group of people to sit, look at it, and say, yeah, move it forward. Because grand juries do turn down cases. So
That is,
they
yes,
didn't
that is true.
they do turn them down. So they did not turn down this one. So possible, there's something there. I mean, he's gonna get his day in court. That's what he's been wanting.
Yes.
So that's what you got.
The other thing, I don't know if they are going to completely get rid of the CP case. They may bring that back yet again for a third time. I wouldn't be surprised if they did. I don't know if they will, but I would not be surprised.
I feel like they closed it. You know what I mean? If they were gonna bring it back right away, why bother? Because they
Hmm.
refreshed this case got indicted. It was a year old. They didn't even like close it down, refresh it, then indict it. They just indicted it. The other one, they closed it. They're not willing to pursue that. Maybe they just, I don't know. All I can do is speculate, but this is a pretty robust indictment. I mean, there's four. Hold on. It's four. Are they all felonies? I think they're all. Let me just double check, but I think they're all okay. Felony, aggravated sodomy. It's felony. Well, we know rape is a felony. I guess they're all four serious felonies. Uh,
Hmm.
yeah. I guess
Well,
they may have they may have decided to go with what they know they had the more solid case for at the moment. And if they have what they need to handle that business, then I guess it is what it is.
and the last thing I will say is Georgia is not a real place, specifically Atlanta. So there is no telling what will happen there because, they just make their own rules, apparently. And again, I would just like to say that I wish Nesto the life that he deserves. And same to Sonia, whatever happens. Good luck to both of them.
Yeah, that's what they. It's look. This is just the way it goes, and I don't know what to say to her. I'm wondering if she knew at this point or she's just now finding out. I would imagine um Sylvia's probably going to get her on the horn, and they'll probably talk about it as if they don't, what I mean, like
But
uh
Sylvia is so busy. She's being a top-notch reporter in New York right now. She doesn't have time for this little case because she said she will get new subscribers off of this Diddy coverage. And I don't follow her channel, so I don't know if that's true or not for her.
mm.
But yeah, she's probably so busy she cannot reach back and cover this little Nesto story anymore because it's just beneath her because she has new followers or whatever she said she was going to get.
So we might just end up just having to listen to the call, just do what we do, which is,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, gather the available information that we can, because um that's her go-to. That's her go-to on
Yeah.
these YouTube streets. Those are her go-tos. It looks like, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. All 4 charges are felonies. I'd have to look up and just, but yeah, if any of those come with a life sentence, which I think the number one charge on there does, the number one count, he's not. They're not going to give him any kind of a bond, and it doesn't matter because he also doesn't have the money. So he's, um it's unfortunate. I don't know that he realized when he got intermingled with this woman how much of a negative effect that, like the Sonia factor, that might be something to
Yeah.
actually kind of look into, because I just think that her, how they say the butterfly effect, I just feel like her she's had a horrible effect on his life, as if it wasn't bad enough. Not to say he's
Yeah.
innocent, but the fact that when he went in there, he had Shirley, and due to her overzealousness to want to be friends with a man who, you know, even though the marriage was doomed, she really wanted to be friends with him, and that ultimately cost him that relationship.
I will add too that I think Sonia has painted Nesto into a corner with her evidence gathering of trying to create a timeline of which that will say, well, no, you weren't there on this day. That's the day they said it happened. But as you just read, they said it was between any period of time. Like they gave a wide breadth of like time that it could have happened. So all of Sonia's fact finding mission was for naught because she's just painting him into a corner with giving, oh, you weren't there that day. But love, now that you see, that's why you should be quiet. That's all I will say. Sometimes activate your superpower, which is your ability to be quiet and just shut the F up. That's all you have to do. And
Hmm.
that's what Sonia is incapable of doing because now she can't say, well, no, you weren't there that day because what day was it, Sonia? No one knows other than the victim. And I don't think she told the grand jury, or the grand jury doesn't know the date.
Well, and also it could have been, it's almost like, let's just use Cassie and Diddy for a situation. There might have been encounters that Cassie particularly remembers, like maybe it could have been a holiday, it could have been an event that they were going to or went to, or something where you can kind of like, oh yeah, we were here and this happened. I can look at my calendar and I know that I traveled to this place or I was at my house, whatever, right? You might not necessarily remember a date, but you remember kind of a moment in time, right?
Right.
If this girl was involved with Nesto for this period of time and they were sexually involved and it was on some kind of go along to get along type situation, and she was a minor, and he was aggressive, and her yeses may really have meant nos. I don't know. Um, it could have been any time. It could have been pick an encounter. You know what I mean? It doesn't necessarily have to be an encounter. It could have been a multitude of times where really, let's just go to this one. If you're under the age of consent, there is no consent. You know what I mean? You're underage. There's no consent.
Mm-hmm.
There's nowhere that if you're not of age, that it's okay.
I definitely agree. And I hope that the best for this victim and all of the victims. And I hope also at this point, Sonia just backs off. And I know it probably will be difficult for her because I understand that she has may feel like she has a point to prove. I don't know her. I don't know what her goal is. But I
Mhm.
think at this point, Sonia, it's okay to say, you know what, I'm done. I'll support you from, the bushes. I'll put money in your books. I'll do what have you. And I'll leave it at that because the funny part to me was for Mother's Day when she kept saying, well, I told her not to say anything. She can't say anything because they're all in our business. And she just went on her little rambling session of just rambling and wouldn't stop talking. And I couldn't understand
Mhm.
why was it okay for Sonia to just ramble for however long she did, but she said she told the daughter not to speak. I think the daughter didn't have anything to say to him. I think the daughter is done with him. I don't
Laverte
know.
seems to be pretty quiet. I think she's pretty much in the probably less than 10 calls in the past 3 years. Laverte seems to be very quiet, like a, very timid, quiet individual, and doesn't seem to ever, okay, daddy, okay, okay. You know what I mean? Like it's just she's doesn't seem, she's not, she's like if her and Sonia were opposite sides of the talking spectrum, you know what I mean? Now,
Yeah.
or also she may just also be heavily guarded because she doesn't, even more so because she doesn't want to be on a recorded line. So, you know what I mean? So she's a Sonia is definitely a control freak, and she's really tried to manage this situation for Nesto instead of allowing Nesto to manage this situation for himself. And she has made it so she's so polarizing that it has created quite a bit of intrigue that people are interested in this case. Like, okay, yeah. Oh, indictment. Okay, yes. Let me go live. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
that's if Nesto, not to say there wouldn't be interest in Nesto's case, but Sonia has definitely. So someone said, "What about Erica?" I'm just not. I'm going to say I'm just not talking about Erica tonight because this case really doesn't have a lot to do with Erica King. I mean, she may have an effect on this situation as well, but specifically Sonia in the last 3 years and her dragging everybody, including the victims. I can, we haven't heard from Erica King in 3 years. Erica King has been very conservative about what she has said outside of court. She's kept it very quiet. And she's also pled guilty to like a multitude of felonies. Ma'am is gone. Sonia does not stop talking about people. She doesn't stop talking about the victims. She doesn't stop talking about the prosecutors. She doesn't stop talking about Fonnie Willis. She's reaching out to the prosecutor. She is a problem.
Yeah, and I will say that I think Sonya is a chaos monger,
Yes.
and wherever she goes, she sows chaos. And like you just mentioned, that long list, she has to create and sow chaos no matter where she goes. And the parable is pride comes before the fall. So I hope that Sonya is using this as her exit strategy. I've said it before. Like, Sonya, please, love, just go ahead on and bow out. You have nothing to gain by sticking around with this man. You said you want to do your RV channel, then do that, and we'll see how that works out for you. But when it comes to Nesto, it's okay to just bow out well, I was going to say gracefully, but she's not graceful at all. So, but bow out the best way you know how, Sonia, and just leave it alone. And I keep addressing her because I'm sure she's listening or will listen at some point. And
They got people in the bushes, how
yeah,
it goes.
yeah. Well, that is all I wanted to chat about. And I'm just, I'm glad to see some movement. I hate it for the victim. But again, Nesto, you
I
reap what
mean,
you sow.
look, it's good for the victim. If the victim, look at it this way. The victim alerted law enforcement some type of way. So
Yes.
if the victim picked up a phone or filled out a form online or walked into a police station, yeah, we hate it for the victim that they were victimized, but this is a good day for the victim because now they could be seeing some justice. And Nesto has been asking for his day in court. And
Hmm.
guess what? You done got it.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
has. Yeah. And the interesting thing about motivation, intrinsic motivation, human behavior, and all of those things is that now that this has, there has been some motion here. I hope it motivates his other victims in his RICO to stay the course and not, back out because it's been such a long process and they may be tired of waiting for justice and may feel like, what, it's not even worth it at this point. I hope this maybe motivates them to stay the course and not bow out at this point or feel defeated, because there is an opportunity for some justice to be
Mhm.
done. And so hopefully this motivates them. And I know it's not an intrinsic motivation for them, maybe not, but it could be an extrinsic motivation to get them to see, what, let's stay the course. This alleged victim did. So we'll stay the course and we'll hope for the best. And we'll show up if that time comes and we'll testify and we'll be witnesses. And yeah, I hope that everything plays out the way that it is meant to play out. At one point, I was hoping to get to see Nesto out in the wild and see how he bounces back, or if he is able to bounce back with
Mhm.
a new sugar mama. But I don't think that day is going to come. I don't think it's going to happen.
It's not gonna be coming anytime soon. I think he's gonna be tied up for at least another couple, 2, 3
Decades.
years. I mean, and that's if he's found guilty and sentenced, right? But I'm gonna
Yeah.
just go on a limb and just say in this red tape that he's caught up in now, I feel like, I mean, it could be if we're going based on the RICO, his RICO's already over a year old.
Yeah.
And Dunaway still hasn't ruled. Maybe we'll see some rulings coming up. I mean, Dunaway, he's got court coming up in like what, less than 3 weeks.
Hmm.
And so there needs to be some decisions made on some of these pending motions. And now he's got another indictment right behind it.
Yeah.
Time to bring this file forward for Judge Dunaway to sit at his desk and make some damn decisions on these motions so the attorneys know how to do what do what they've been assigned to do. One prosecute and one defend. Like
Yeah.
he needs to really move some things along because really right now it's on Dunaway.
Quick question for you in the chat, and then I'm going to drop down. Do you think that because they dropped the CP charges, will Hoover still pursue the fruit of the poisonous tree and having all of the truck search information thrown out? Because from my perspective, having that information thrown out would have only benefited him in the case of the CP charges. The other things, like Wooten said, they didn't need that information. And of course Hoover said they got it because they saw the numbers in the truck and they started calling people.
Mhm.
But I don't think they needed it because they had Erica. They didn't actually
Right.
need
There
it.
were things that Erica was able to reveal. There were already police reports filed. That's one of the motions that Dunaway has to rule on.
Hmm.
So um Roberto Hoover or Sean Hoover put motions out there to the motion to for the vehicle search. I can't even think of it right now. The and yeah, it's still pending. There's several things that are still pending. So they're waiting for Dunaway to rule on it. And Wooten has put out several arguments, additional information. That's just what all of the back and forth has been. So it's not, as far as Sean still pursuing it, it's been filed. The judge has to make a decision if he's going to allow that evidence to come in, or if um, he's going to say it was unconstitutional, and that information won't be able to come in. But we're going to have to see. He's going to have to make a
Yeah.
decision.
Yeah, we will see. Like I said,
Now,
Atlanta is not a real place. Oh, go ahead.
as far as this is concerned, let's talk about some evidence that could be overarching. Now, it's quite possible there were receipts that are potentially evidence for this case. The foreign objects, the sex toys, things like that.
No.
That could be some of those things. There could be information, his cell phone. We don't know what is all together in that bag that ties to this young lady. Also, the information, and they also remember this lady also intersects with the teacher, because this young lady, when he took the Ultima of the teacher, he gave the Ultima to this young lady.
Yeah.
And she was out of town in Dominican Republic when her family member was driving the vehicle. So that also is a situation. So there are some things from the vehicle search that I think would probably still be helpful to this case. But at the end of the day, I mean, I'm sure people have been convicted on rape cases, on circumstantial evidence. So I'm not going to say they don't need it, but there might be more to the case that we don't know, because, oftentimes we don't know all of the evidence that they have. And we definitely don't know, what they have that is kind of like, okay, yes, this was actually going on. She might have a whole phone log. She might have selfies. She might be checking in from places. She could be texting people and saying, oh, me and Ernesto are on the bus and we're doing this and we're doing that. Like, there could be so many different items these days that qualify as evidence to say, okay, they were in the same place. Also matching up their cell phones.
I hope he was not driving around with those, I guess I'll call them instruments that were mentioned in this case. I hope that those are not the same instruments that she referenced, because that would be, it's disgusting enough, but Nesto, come on.
I think that those tools, let's just say his tool bag, I think that tool bag was multi-purposeful, and I don't think he had a particular kit for a particular person. I think it was on some I'll use it with this one and probably get some warm water and some soap and wash it off and use it again.
Okay, that is disgusting. Hopefully if Sonia slows down
That was his gigolo bag.
His work bag.
I mean, think about, like, if you were listening to the coverage today, like Diddy's, the people, the professionals out there, who are just a little younger than, because the man today is 50 years old, right? So he's not much younger than, he's 10 years younger than Nesto. This man is a professional,
well,
answer, doing private performances. And I mean, this apparently is some sort of a career.
Well,
so we don't know what Nesto was doing.
That is very true. He seems to have been slaying a lot of women with his toolkit, and it worked out for him as long as it did. And hopefully, like I was about to say, I think hopefully Sonia will slow down long enough to be honest with herself, to understand that, wait a minute, when I think about it, some of the things that these people are accusing him of, not all of the things, not the forced situations, but some things overlap, like taking me into the RV and, him providing sausage, or, those types of things if she is honest with herself, she can probably see some overlap there for herself, because I'm sure his modus operandi was not very different from woman to woman.
No,
And so she probably can see some truth in some of these things, whether she wants to admit it or not. But that's her business. I don't know her. So yeah, she'll do with this information whatever she sees fit to do,
absolutely.
and
I
that's
think if Nesto is dealing with you as a woman, if you're dealing with Nesto as a woman, he's dealing with your wallet. Okay. If you don't
yeah,
have anything for him, he is not dealing with you.
yeah,
And even though, Sonia has been a convenience and she's also been like a plan B. So she's been a convenience. She
yeah.
has been a funding source to help him ride out the last couple of years, because Shirley was not playing with him. And then she's also a plan B because he knew that when and if he got out, he could, camp out at her place until he
Yeah.
gets himself together and he'd probably take off. But yeah, it doesn't see he's not going to be on the streets of Atlanta this summer.
I doubt that very seriously too. Well, that is all I had for the sake of the conversation, and then it seems like Sonya made sure to hit the road, and so now Nesto doesn't even have her address as a plan B. Well, she did say someone is in her apartment, so maybe I honestly cannot make heads or tails of their nonsense, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's best to not try to get, for me personally, I can't tell anyone what to do, but for me, I try not to get too into the details because some of y'all are still reconciling the fact that she's not even in an RV, that she's still in her apartment or she's over at Sydney's house. She's lying about everything. At the end of the day, I just go based on what people lie or talk about, and I don't try to get too much into like, okay, that doesn't, if it doesn't sound believable, it's just not believable to me. But at the end of the day, whatever they have going on, he ain't coming home this summer. I don't think. It's not. He's going to be busy. Sir just got indicted on some very serious charges. He may as well just tack on a whole nother year because they're not going to try him for everything at the same time. He's going to have to go through this RICO, and then they might pre-trial him. Like if you see like Lori Vallow and what she's going through, she had two back-to-back trials, and in Arizona they're moving, right? She just had her trial. She was found guilty. They had a couple of weeks break, and she has another trial getting ready to come up for another murder charge, well, attempted murder charge, right? They could start to pre-trial him like Stephen Starnes. He's got two cases. He's going in July, and then he's got something that's supposed to start in September. Now, will everything start on time? We don't know, but he has two very serious cases back to back. So it is possible that they could be running both cases. Like he comes to court and they will pre-trial on one and, running motions and whatever on the newer case now that just got indicted. We'll see. But um Dunaway just seems really slow. So we don't know if he's going to do it like that. If he's going to try to bundle everything and move everything together, or is he going to just drag everything out like it's been dragged? So we'll see.
Well, Nesto will spend the rest of his 60 ball
Mm.
incarcerated. Pill call
Mm-hmm.
won't come fast enough for him. Hopefully he doesn't hurt his foot on his bed again, like he said he
Oh
was
my
skipping
God.
his feet.
Fighting demons in his sleep.
Right. So hopefully they can sedate him well enough. I know someone said he's probably going to the hole. I just think he'll probably just need an extra dose of whatever they give him.
Right.
And
Dose me up.
yeah, yeah, but bless his heart. Bless his heart.
Yeah. It's time for deep thought and contemplation. Look at Nomad. The avatar. Yeah, he needs to it's time to have a talk with Jesus. Okay.
Well, maybe because his fast didn't work this time, he may go on a hunger strike, or I don't know. Maybe you know what? You have to be careful who you ask to pray for you, because he kept
Mm.
asking Sonia to pray for him. And I'm always leery about asking people to pray for me because they are not always praying the will of God. They are praying from their flesh. And because Sonia isn't a believer, her prayers may have just, pushed things a little faster in the wrong direction.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah. Look, he's an interesting man, and I feel like I don't even know. I don't even think about that deep because I feel like when I listen to Nesto, he has his faith walk sounds like a damn Christmas list, and that that God is akin to Santa Claus. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
don't really take him seriously. Whatever he's doing and whatever he's thinking, that's on him. You know what I mean? Like these two, I don't really go deep with because they're not deep. They're
They
not
are.
deep. They're
They are
very
very
shallow,
shallow. Yeah.
and I don't take it that deep with them. He talks about God like God is Santa Claus or the Easter Bunny. So this is
Yeah.
it. Like this is what you got. This is what you wanted. This is what you've been saying. You wanted your day in court. Guess what? You got it.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to step down. Hopefully, we'll get another caller. This has been very interesting.
Isn't it? Yeah.
And I've been following with you from the very beginning before we even had the phone call. So this has been so interesting. And my family is like, what's the update? They don't follow, but they like to get a quick
They're
little
following
update.
through you.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I don't mind telling them all of the new information. And
Absolutely.
this is going to be one for the books, the new indictment. So
Well, yes, yes, yes. I mean, look, I'm glad to see some progress. Now,
yeah.
had they closed out the case, we would I'm not, I just want to be clear. I'm not relishing in this man's demise. Just like the other day, you didn't I mean, I wasn't relishing, like I was neither nothing about them closing the case. It's like, you know what, guys, they closed it. It is what it is. It wasn't nothing happening with it anyway. So you know what I mean? Like that's it, that's all, right? He got indicted. Okay. I mean, we're not throwing a party. I mean,
Right.
he might feel like we are. And I'm sure Sonia will tell him that everybody was like, it was like 1999 out here. But at the end of the day, um, it's a good day for the victim, that the victim is that the case has been indicted and the victim could see some justice. And if they're so compelled to have this man pay a price for harming them, hurting or harming them, the day's coming that he's going to have to answer to it. So I'm happy for the victim, and I'm glad that we're seeing some movement, whatever the movement is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because what happens to Nesto doesn't impact any of us. Not me, definitely. I will move on. I didn't know
We
anything
will
about
still
him
be
before.
talking. Yes,
Right.
we will still be talking.
Yeah, so I'm a casual enjoyer of the drama. And like I said earlier, I would have liked to see him out in the wild, to see him get on Instagram and YouTube and start his podcast that he
Hmm.
mentioned, and to do his interviews and see how he tries to bounce back
See
and
him and
show
Sonia
us.
go live and
Yeah,
argue.
that would have been the best, better than the jail calls. That would have been wonderful. I let him out. Please let him out so we can see the drama in real time. So yeah,
Hmm.
so I'm not rooting for him to be locked up. I am
No.
rooting for justice, but this is entertainment to me. I
Right.
so
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah.
So but yeah.
Well, I thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for supporting. You're so sweet. And I'm so glad you came up to talk to me. Thank you.
You are welcome, and I enjoy your lives. And so I
Oh,
will
thank you.
listen to the rest. Thank you. Have a good night. And I hope
Okay.
you
All right.
feel better.
Oh, thank you. I'm getting better.
Good.
I feel like I turned the corner today.
Good. Good.
Today was a turn the corner day. So thank you.
You are welcome. Have a good
Okay.
evening.
All right.
Bye.
Take care. Guys, that was one of our good goods from the chat. Thank you so much. Hey Siri. Um, yeah. So yeah, about Erica King. I know we don't talk a lot about Erica King because Erica has been so quiet all of this time. I, I don't really, you know what I'm saying? Like we've talked about Erica King a lot. I have a whole entire Erica King playlist. Um we've, over the past 2.5, almost 3 years, we have talked a lot about Erica King. I think I probably have at least 30 calls in there. I mean, not 30 calls, 30 videos. But it's not nearly as much as we have talked about Nesto. Okay. But as far as the, what has had the biggest effect on him since he's been locked up, it's been Sonia. It's been Sonia. I mean, I would venture to guess Erica King is not up there calling Will Wooten. She has to probably check in. She's on probation. She has to cooperate. That's part of her deal. But at the end of the day, baby, Sonia has had a tremendous effect on Nesto's case, in my opinion. And I'm saying, I don't have to be right. The link is up. So anybody who, feels differently, definitely call in. I'm just, my opinion is I feel like I'm not saying that he's been indicted just because of Sonia. Sonia has not helped. To our caller's point, Sonia has said things about the victim, and she has, who wants to hear the guy who sexually assaulted you on jail phone calls talking to someone who doesn't know anything about anything, talking about you're here, you're there, you ran off, you're lying, you're just mad, your father's a gangster, your people are bad about it, your people ain't shit. What are you afraid of? Why are you lying? Da, 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 da. I mean, she talks so much shit about this young lady who is getting older and older, who may feel more and more coming into her own as a woman, and is like, bitch, let me make sure I'm calling and checking in with the district attorney and see what the status is on my case. You know what I'm saying? Like, you've had plenty, like, this woman has had plenty to say low key and left handedly about this lady who is a victim, right? Erica King is in the back office counting. Girl, Erica King is trying to mind all of her business, and I do not blame her. I could only imagine being in her situation and knowing that you got to be on your damn P's and Q's and handling everything and following orders and staying your behind out of the way. So I don't blame her at all. I mean, I think Erica King, obviously she's a felon, she's a criminal, she's been convicted. She's staying out the way. I mean, if she has a podcast, who knows? I think she's just out of the way. She's not playing with those people in Fulton County, and clearly Fulton County is not playing with them. So I don't know. Sonia can think she can play all she wants, get on the road. I don't live there anymore. They can't find me. I'm gone. I'm not bothering these people anymore. But yeah, I think sending the note to Will Wooten, playing with Nesto's case was probably not a good idea. And the fact that, listen to this. Let me run this theory by you too. So when we're thinking about Sonia reaching out to Will Wooten, right? Sending, let me see if I can find those text messages. I know I have it on my deck, but when we're thinking about that, right? So she's talking her conspiracy theories, or basically accusing them of potentially lying, or Roswell Police Department lying, and it's not fair, and you can't fight a lie, and this, that, and the third, right? Ultimately, Fonnie Willis has to answer for these cases that get older and older and older. So when there's cases that are like, let's say 2 years old and, aging, right? And she's looking at these caseload aging reports, and they're sitting at the round table and talking about these aging cases and what we're going to do with them, and are we sending them to a grand jury, and what is going on. And you have your deputy DA telling you that the accused who's sitting locked up, their mistress, who's formerly like a mistress but now de facto girlfriend. We know on the calls they love each other, they're in communication, she's sending money and whatever. They'll just say, gee, he's got a girlfriend, the one who was known as the mistress before the wife divorced him and all of the things. And she's now emailing me. And not only is she trying to email me what she thinks is evidence after we subpoenaed her and thought that would be enough to make her go away, now she's emailing me and reminding me that, that we should be operating in the truth and not lies. Like, how dare she? Like, how does she not understand that that could be offensive to people who are professionals and may be offended by her doing that? How could she not think that, that might not put a folder at the top of a list and say, you know what, let's do something with these cases. We're going to let the CP's case go because that's probably our weakest of these two, but we have solid evidence. We have the blood oath note. Don't forget that there's supposed to be some sort of a blood oath note or something that he has with the girl. They found some sort of piece of paper where he had her sign something and put blood on it. Don't forget about that, right? There's some things. So Sonia's playing with people who get up and do this every day, that this is their job. She's sitting there making up fantasy fiction about opening up strip clubs and being like a strip club back office specialist. On top of, now she claims to have 35 years of legal experience. I mean, it's ridiculous. Anyway, I'm not going to hold y'all. Let me see. I'm trying to see if I can find this real quick. Are these the dates? I may have found what I was looking for. Let's see. My throat's getting dry. Okay, so he had court. When did he have court? He was on a 21-day fast, right? And he said, did you send something? Okay, every damn call. Okay. Okay, did you call? Okay, this is, let's see. The last, completely understand. I think the anger came from the weak arguments. So let's see. Is this it? Hold on, guys. Let me move this out the way. It's like I got to get the dates right again. We're in that date range. I'm just trying to figure out what's what. So 4:30, was that the day? That was the day that there was actually court, right? Okay, when she says I'll call him tomorrow. I hear you on the campaign trail. He said something about, did you call someone before court? Keep your head up tomorrow. Don't be defeated. This woman is cuckoo. He really has to, I don't know. That's his problem. I'm just gonna leave that alone. Good evening. I'm getting back to the house. Okay, 4:30. Every damn call is on YouTube. Every damn call's on YouTube, but people lie and everyone in there is a plant. She needed to get out the house. That woman was going crazy. He said something about good evening, just getting back. No ruling has been made. Got reset 30 days to have that hearing on the new motion and bond hearing. I hope you talk to him today. Okay, so that's not it. I love you. Call me today. I'm going to have to find it. I don't know why I can't see it, but I know it's in here somewhere. When he says, "Did you call?" An attorney friend called back and asked your case. Okay, so her and her lying. All right, we'll find it. I'll find it tonight. We'll talk about it tomorrow. It's in here somewhere. I feel like I'm not seeing it. But when he asked her, like, did you call? Oh, this is the note that she sent. Good morning. I hope no lies are told in court. Is this what she sent to? This is what she sent to Will Wooten. Good morning. I hope no lies are told today in court. All lives matter. All things living matter. I'm okay with the truth. Roswell constantly changes the story and twists facts, lies. This system needs to change and the world needs to change. Power, money, material gain is what destroyed this country. It's supposed to be about honesty and facts. She's a fucking nut job. Nobody told her to send this dumbass note to the prosecutor. And she said, well, I put a smiley face on it, so it should have been okay. And then she's over here. Officer Natalie said every time in court and that the jail, she's a liar. All of this stuff weighs against him. She doesn't care for the bond because the judge is allowing him. So I feel like it's up here somewhere when he said it wasn't a good thing that what you did. Good morning. I hope you're going to meet up with them again for sure, because I'd like I expressed to you this morning, I am tired. I see the past, all the games, and the other side. May Day today. This, his writing is horrible. In here, the sadness on the outside. I've made it this far to stay humble. Okay, this is not the one. Where is it when he said that when you sent that note, that didn't do me any favor? I really appreciate it if you do, because I need you to understand that the other side has no interest in allowing me to have my freedom. That's done today to me. It's very confusing. I understand there was no harm intended. What Nesto has to understand is that Sonia doesn't mean him any good. She is a fucking weirdo. And she's not actually thinking about him. She's very much triggered. She is a whole entire neurotic prison bae, and she loves dealing with men who are not available. And he's the ultimate not available man, because not only was he married when she met him, but now he's locked up. She loves a guy who's not available. Okay. And he's absolutely not available. This is what she likes. So he's thinking she meant no harm, but she actually did. Good morning. Just getting back. No ruling has been made to have a hearing on that new motion. Okay, so that's not it. I'm trying to find where he said to her, did you send someone a note? His lawyer got the video footage and put it on channel 2 and all the newspapers. It clearly shows that he was trying to keep the baby from falling out the car. Oh, that's when they were talking about Patel. Anyway, I don't know why I can't see it. Do you guys see it? I'll have to go back to the other video. I heard there was too many cases. No time for yours, plus blogger drama. How do you feel? And I came back this evening and found out it was true on my last day of the fast. I'm glad you finally got a new toy. I don't know. I'll find it. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? Anyway, I'm not going to hold you guys. I guess a lot to talk about. I believe it was the call. It was a call, not a text. Oh, I thought it was in here too, where he said something like, "Did you send a note to someone? I'm going to need for you to." It's a combination of things. You're right. I think it was like a combination. We'll find it. It might have been one of those FaceTime videos. He asked her something, and then we went to the text messages and found a little bit more out. Yeah, I think it was like a combination of things. And we put it together, something like that. We'll find it again. I'll have to go back to it. Was like last week. He asked her, did she send something? And yeah. And she said she didn't mean any harm by it. Okay, so it might not be in here, but that was the note that she sent to Will Wooten. That crazy. Do you imagine you're going to court and some weirdo broad that's putting money on your commissary sends the prosecutor this stupid ass message? Good morning. I hope no lies are told in court today. The fuck? I'm sorry. If there, on top of Nesto doing this to himself, Sonia has been a real hindrance. Anyway, guys, I'm going to let you guys go. You guys have a good night. I will see you guys tomorrow and we'll talk about it then. Yeah. I have to go back to that live. I'll find it. I feel like it was from like last week or the week before. It was very short. Yeah. Right after court. It was a phone call, FaceTime, something, and then we had to string everything together and we figured it out that there was obviously something that had happened and that she decided to send the note in the text messages so we would figure out what's going on. Anyway, guys, make sure to hit the thumbs up for me. It's a free way to support the channel. How did we do on likes? I guess we're good on likes. I mean, there's still like 150 who didn't hit the thumbs up. If you would not mind hitting the thumbs up either now or as you exit, it's very much appreciated. And like I said, it's a free 99 way to support this channel. Okay. All right, guys. You guys take care. Have a wonderful evening. And I will see you guys next time I go live, post a video, do all of the things, and take care. Bye, guys.